Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world, and thanks for watching. Today we're going to talk about what is the level Bitcoin must hold? What is the critical levels of support? What do I see shaking out for the rest of February and beyond? Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help to support the channel, as does your wonderful comments that you leave. You take the time to write it. I take the time to read it and respond. Thank you so much. Those of you leave questions in the comments section. I do get back to those as soon as I'm able to. However, if you'd like more immediate engagement, interaction with me, you can find me in the Discords. The link is below in the description. You might just need to click the more button there. And there is the Stocks with Josh Discord. I have a Crowned Traders channel in there where I share education, insights, and resources, some of my trade setups, and of course, entertainment, because this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And of course, speaking of entertainment, I posted this morning. Yes, can you explain this gap in your resume? Responding, that was when I thought it was the Bitcoin super cycle, or at least the altcoin super cycle, the meme coin super cycle that hasn't yet eventuated, and I don't think we're going to see a super cycle. However, let's jump into some news, and of course, we have the Bitcoin monthly returns, and it's not looking pretty so far for this February. It's going to close red. If we close under 102K, we need to get up to 103,000 to get that green February and continue the trend. We've seen that are very bullish, particularly in bull markets and post-halving years, 2021, 35, 2017, 20, and then 63 back in 13. So, man, I mean, this could be a red February. And what would I do? What are my thoughts on that? I'm going to share about that in just a moment. There, of course, we have El Salvador. They're known for stacking 1 Bitcoin a day, but they haven't bought any Bitcoin since February 17, 6 days ago. Do they know something? However, we do see that whales are buying Bitcoin like never seen before. Something is coming big time, according to Vivek. And then, of course, we have the Bitfinex longs are running. And last time this happened, it was 60K to 100K. So is that something? So let's jump into the charts there for Bitcoin. I've identified these levels here. And so first of all, the 95K level. Now, if we were to lose this 95K level, and I'm surprised it's not lost already. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, this is quite remarkable how much buys have come in at this level. Usually when you see this, you do see a break below. So I am expecting, every time there's a test of that level, I'm just expecting for it to break. I am, and then it holds. And so that's been really good. And what have I said? You know, we've been trading between this 95 and 99K level. Of course, there's a 50-day moving average and the 100-day and a few other EMAs in there where it's been held back. So it hasn't quite gotten there. You got the Fibonacci at 97. So, you know, it's kind of poked up there and gotten pushed right back down again. And of course, we were looking quite good until the Bybit hack conveniently stalled the momentum that had been gained, particularly for Bitcoin and some of the altcoin market. And of course, now we've seen Bitcoin dominance start to surge again as a result of that Bybit hack, and people just saying, hey, I'm done, I'm getting out of the market, because most people are more so in altcoins than Bitcoin. That's why we've seen more of the Bitcoin dominance begin to pump up. So obviously we lost that level. Look, there's a few levels there. There's the 100 EMA on the daily at 94, along with a Fibonacci level. There's a double Fibonacci level there at 92, 800, which have been quite good as support. And then we come down to the bottom of the range at 90,000. However, we do have currently, which is the February low, February 3rd, which is that 91,200 level. But then right below it, we have the December low, which is 90,800. So we don't want to lose these levels. These are the levels that we do not want to lose. This is the January low there. Actually, that was the 89. Now, of course, we did see the January go below what we saw as the December low here, and that was that put in that big wick on that 89,000 level there. So we've had this 90 and then 89 and then 91. So that's established clearly a bottom of the range around that 90. So these are the levels that I don't really want to see Bitcoin go below. And so you see here again as well. And then we have this Fibonacci level at 88,000 there as well. So there's quite a lot of support, by the way, and there's quite a lot of buyers that are stepping in at these levels. You see these Lux Algo order blocks. So really it's 89,000 level that I would not like to see lost, this 89,200. Of course, we could wick down there, but I wouldn't want to see us close below that. And in reality, I really don't want us to close below this 90,000 level here. Obviously, if we lost the low here of February and created a new lower low, that would be considered quite bearish. But around these levels, I really want to see hold. We do have the 200 EMA on the daily, and we could come down to retest that. That's sitting at 85,600 at the moment, but I would expect that will be up much higher by the time that we actually, if we get up a little bit higher there, that could be something that we would come and test, but that could be up at 88 or 89 or 90 if we just continue this kind of choppy downward push in the market. What I would say with this is, I get asked a lot now, are we going to see, are we going to see Bitcoin create a new all-time high this month? Well, every day we go by where that's not the case, you think, well, it's possible that we don't. So let's talk about how that might play out. Now, look, we've seen Bitcoin do big $10,000 candles in a day. So it's not without the realms that if some catalyst were to come in, and it really does need to be some good news, some catalyst to come up and push to get back up to, first for now, but really the urgent need for us is to get a close above the January close, which is 102,000. So we got to get up to this 103,000 level right here, just right there. We've got to get that. That's really important for Bitcoin. If it doesn't get that, and we've got a red February, and it depends how the market really absorbs that. The other thing to keep in mind as well is that in April 2021, Bitcoin dropped from 69 to 28. Alts got obliterated. And 2 months we saw downside, and then a month of going sideways. For 3 months, the market was quite bearish. Are we thinking, is it possible that we've seen this April dump earlier? January 18th, I think, was the Bitcoin all-time high, or around that date, and that's when the market started to go down. So it's possible, if we were to go sideways, for example, and I don't think we'll possibly replicate exactly what happened in April, because first of all, Bitcoin hasn't dropped as heavily and possibly won't because of the ETF. But if we take this measurement here, how far are we down, or how far did we go down? We went down, it was a 16% drop, so it's a fairly decent drop, whereas that was a fairly big 50% drop down in the April drop, but alts got obliterated, and alts right now are getting a little bit obliterated as well. So of course, if we saw that go down for about 2 months, that would take us through to March. And then maybe we have a couple of months of green leading into May, and then sell in May and go away, May, June, and then July, August fly, and then bull market finishes sometime in September, October, or November. And so that's a possibility. It's also possible that we don't go down for as long and we find a bottom sooner rather than later, and that we're able to then move up, or maybe we go sideways for a bit, for a month, and it's possible that we could just chop around in here for a while alts just continue to bleed out. And that's why it's very important to look at the Bitcoin dominance here, which is now set in a higher high and a higher low, and the tribal trades trend line, one line to rule them all, strikes again there And so we do not want to then take out this high there. That would be very bullish for Bitcoin and very bearish for alts, unfortunately. And so that is something right now I think people are starting to exit the altcoin market. They've lost a little bit of hope and faith in the market. And I think there's a few reasons for that. One, I think that the meme coin, a lot of people have lost money in meme coin. I told everybody on this channel back in January I was exiting meme coins and high risk, low caps like the AI agents because too many bad actors and scammers came into the space. And I was proven to be right there. We saw the Libra pull from Argentina, which sucked $4 billion in market cap. That's a lot of money now that can't go into altcoins. We also saw that big crash there on the 3rd of February that it came down there, a big drop. And of course, what resulted in that was the biggest liquidations in the history of crypto in 24 hours. Well, the market makers and the exchanges took all that money. So now retail doesn't have that money to spend. So that's the second mode. And thirdly, I think Doge. I think not Dogecoin, but the Department of Government Efficiency have stopped all this fraudulent money going out. Now, where do you think that money was being spent? You know, I think a lot of that was going into the markets to buy stocks and set people up for the long term and also for crypto. Now that money's not money. I do think in the medium to long term, that's going to be good for crypto and for stocks because it is going to look to bring inflation down. There's less money to be people. So those are just a few of the things here. Let's jump over to follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. We're off to see the wizard. The wonderful Wizard of Oz. And then you see to the downside, 94,600. There is the bright shining lights as we come down. I do like the 48-hour time frame. I feel it gives a more balanced view. That's probably my favorite time frame. And we do have this 94, so a wick down below would not surprise me. Of course, the market makers could just surprise everybody. Everybody's super bearish and just go up and take this liquidity up to 97, 98. That wouldn't surprise me either. Which way do you think the market maker is going? Down first to get this, and then up, or up and then down? I have no doubt both these levels are going to get taken. We are going to see 94 probably tagged and 97, 98 tagged as well. That would not surprise me at all. Let's jump to the week time frame there and just zoom out. And again, there does seem to be a lot of liquidity building to the downside. Now we're starting to see 93 come in, 94. People don't learn. Those highly leveraged long positions can just get wiped out. We'll go to the month time frame and let's see what's now. Look at what we've got here. Now look, there is a lot of liquidity up here. At some point, I do see Bitcoin coming up and taking out all this up to the upside here, all the way up. You know, you got 107,000, but look at all this liquidity now to the downside. 96 million down at 93, 130 million down at 92. So it just feels now that 95K level is going to get lost, and we're going to go down unless the market makers decide to leave that liquidity behind, and we're going to retest those levels to the downside. But really, in my mind, we're really looking at that 103K level to the upside, and then looking for that 90K level to hold to the downside. That's the level that we need to hold. Otherwise, we could see a capitulation like we saw in April of 2021, where Bitcoin then puts in a further move to the downside, and we could see that 85, 83K level come in, as well as that 81 or 79K level. Though that's the danger area, and then we start trading in this new range. Remember, if we look at the VRV, there's just not a lot there, and so we lose this area here, and we just have big gap. If you can see, actually, if we switch to the weekly, now look, there is a bull flag for Bitcoin, and this is where really we need to hold the line around this 90,000, because now bull flags have about a 67% chance of playing out to the upside, but around a 33% chance of playing out to the downside. But look here, we just had these big gaps. If we were to lose this level here, there's not a lot going down, and we literally could go all the way back to the previous all-time high down at 73, 71 level down there. But there is a big gap here right there. 88, we lose that level. Boy, that's a big drop, and we could retrace this entire move and come back to this candle here, which would be about 73, 74. So careful of this. This is why I say this is the line in the sand for me. Lose here, and it could get ugly really quick for Bitcoin and for altcoins, and altcoins could literally just go into a bear market lows there. And I wouldn't say that it's necessarily over for Bitcoin at that point, because we did see that in April, nor would I say it's over for altcoins at that point, but I would say it would be over probably for a lot of the altcoin market, and only the best altcoins, the strongest altcoins, the ones with utility, would probably survive that, just like we saw back in April 2021, when most altcoins set their all-time highs around there, never ever recovered, and most have never even recovered to this. And you can also see this line here, the 20 EMA on the weekly. We do not want to lose that. This is why this 90,000 is so important. Yes, we could wick below. We've seen that before down to 89, but really this level lost here, break below, retest, rejection, and that's just going to bring in a lot of, there's just not a lot in between there. You can see the volume profile there just disappear, particularly between 85 and 76. There's just a massive gap there. Alrighty, well, that's it for today. Thanks again for tuning in. And until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.